Often when it comes to retirement, a lot of people retire with not quite enough super, but a lot of equity in their home, and they think, great, I'll downsize, I'll free some money up, but often it doesn't quite work out. Let me show you an example of exactly that. So this particular couple had a home worth about $1.2 million in the outer estate of town, and they're thinking, we want to get closer to the main street of town and buy a smaller home. Initially they thought, hey, we might be able to sell our place for say $1.3 million and buy something for $700,000, and that's a little bit of bias there. But once they went through the process, they actually only got $1.2 million for theirs, and they only found places that they really liked at about the $900,000 mark, so they had to cough up a little bit more. But they were still thinking, hey, we got $300,000 left over. But unfortunately, in the transaction, they lose $26,000 in agents' fees, about $50,000 in stamp duty, and about $10,000 in other costs. Also, after they said and down, they sort of got a little bit loose with the budget and went on a holiday. So by the time it was all said and done, they only had about $200,000 left to throw into super. So they did take their superannuation up from $800,000 to $1 million. So on the back of that, if you're drawing about 7% out of that per annum in an account-based pension, which is what they were doing, they went from about $56,000 to about $70,000 per annum in that. But unfortunately for them, being age pension eligible, they increased the value of their assets. So they were getting $17,000 per annum from the age pension before. It reduced to $2,000 per annum after boosting their superannuation. So when you add that up, their income actually dropped from $73,000 to $72,000. Now, of course, because they've got more in super, they can afford to take out a little bit more than the 7%. But if they did that, they'd quickly find themselves back to that pre-sort of downsized super balance, and they've got a house worth a little bit less. So it really didn't work out for these guys. Tell me what you think. Are you looking to do the same thing? Obviously, if you have a house worth $2 million, they downsize it to $1 million place. That's going to work out a lot better, and you can run the different numbers. But this is all too common. This is a very common scenario where people think, I've got a big old house, I can downsize it and get a lot out, but they don't get as much as they think. And it just doesn't stack up after it's all said and done. Tell me what you think. What are your plans?